शरीरं यदवाप्नोति
शरीरं
शरीरं यदवाप्नोति
यच्चापि उत्क्रमातीश्वरः
यच्चापि उत्क्रामातीश्वरः
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति
वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्.
वायुर्गन्धानि वश्नयत्.
The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to the other, as air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Here, the living entity is described as Ishvara, the controller of his own body. If he likes, he can change his body to a higher grade, and if he likes, he can move to a lower class. Minute independence is there. The change of his body undergoes depends upon him. At the time of death, the consciousness he has created will carry him on to the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat or dog, he is sure to change to a cat or dog's body. And if he has fixed his consciousness on godly qualities, he will change into the form of a demigod. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to Krishna Loka in the spiritual world and will associate with Krishna. It is a false claim that after the annihilation of the body, everything is finished. Right? So 2 points. One is, if we have a cat or dog's mentality, we'll be put into a cat or dog's body. And second thing is, the false claim that after annihilation of the bodies, everything is finished. So general propagation is that once your body finishes, everything is finished. But no, there is something inside. According to chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatah dehantara praptir dhirastatranam yati. One gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit the body in due course. Right? Different body according to karma. It is stated here the subtle body which carries the conception of the next body develops another body in next life. So a subtle body means mind, intelligence, and false ego. So our mind does not die, intelligence does not die, and false ego does not die. So we get carried to the next body. This process of transmigrating from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati, or struggle for existence. So we are all struggling for existence, right, in the material world. But the soul doesn't need to struggle. However, it's put on in the body right now, so we need to struggle right now. So how do we transfer? Just like air carries aromas. If you put an agarbatti in one side of the room, very soon the other side of the room also you can smell the aroma. Same way, Vayur Gandham Vasayat. So Vayur, air, carries the Gandham or aroma. Similarly, we give up one body and go to the next body. So the process is described here. In the chapter 2, it said that you are not the body, but here the process is described. Srotram chakshu-sparshanam cha rasanam grihanam eva cha
रसनं गृहाणम् एव च
adhisthaya manaschayam
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
vishayanupasevate.
विषयानुपसेवते.
The living entity thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about by the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So mind is in the middle. Think of it like you have ear, eye, tongue, nose, sense of touch. They are grouped about by the mind. So graphically, they are all surrounding the mind. And therefore, we enjoy a particular set of sense objects. So all we are doing is either enjoying or suffering. That's it. The senses tell us that you are enjoying now. You have something nice to look at, or you are suffering. You have something nonsense to look at, or you have something good to eat, or some bad things to eat, or something good to hear, or your boss yelling at you. Either way, good or bad, it is just Senses are telling the mind that something's happening, basically. In other words, if a living entity adulterates his consciousness with qualities of cats and dogs, in his next life he gets a cat or dog body and enjoys. Consciousness is originally pure, like water. But if you mix water with certain color, it changes. Similarly, consciousness is pure, for the spirit soul is pure. But consciousness is changed according to association of material qualities. Real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. When therefore one is situated in Krishna consciousness, he is in his pure life. But if his consciousness is adulterated by some type of material mentality, in the next life he gets a corresponding body. Right? Consciousness is adulterated by some material mentality. What is adulteration? If you take milk and pour water, it will still look like milk, but it's not thick anymore. Same thing, our consciousness is still there, but it is adulterated, means diluted by material mentality. So we start getting attracted to matter. In the next life, he gets a corresponding body according to the degree of adulteration. So if you adulterate it too much, then we may get, pretty low level body. If you adulterate it a little bit, maybe we'll get a cow's body or something like that. And after that, we can again come back to human body. So Prabhupada says he does not necessarily get a human body again. He can get the body of a cat, dog, hog, demigod, or one of the many other forms. For there are 8.4 million species. So we have a whole range, a palette. You can pick anything you want, but you won't get a human body if you adulterate your mentality with material mentality. So it's pretty dangerous, actually. Most people, when I invite them to the class, they are not interested. But what's happening here? It is, if you are not careful, one may not get human body again. So next one. Utkramantam sthitam vapi.
Utkramantam sthitam vapi.
Gunjanam va gunanvitam.
Kunjanam va gunanvitam.
Vimudānānupashyanti.
Vimudānānu pashyanti.
Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha.
Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. So just looking is not sufficient. You need to know what to look for. For example, if I send you to some mountain range and say, okay, find the different kinds of rocks, different kinds of plants. You'll come and say there is red rock, there is blue rock, green rock. There are some plants with big leaves, small leaves. But if I send a biologist, he'll come back with a taxonomy, like more detailed. Oh, this belongs to this family, this belongs to this family. Because he's trained in knowledge. So just looking is not looking. Right? We need to have that knowledge, otherwise it's a waste of time. So the word jnana chakshushaha is very significant. Without knowledge, one cannot understand how living entity leaves his present body, nor what form of the body he is going to take in the next life, nor even why he is living in a particular type of body. This requires a great amount of knowledge. See, it requires a great amount of knowledge, understood from Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures, earned from a bona fide spiritual master. So, just like a biologist can very clearly classify and demarcate various species, once you get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, you can also identify what is what, right? Oh, I have a body, there is mind, all these senses are grouped about by the mind, there is intelligence, mind wants to run, intelligence has to stop it. Then there is this false ego, which is telling that, oh, you don't have to do certain things, you have to do certain things. So how to overcome the false ego? how to subdue the mind through superior intelligence, right? So, and how do you get superior intelligence? By constantly understanding from scriptures. Just like how do you become a good biologist? By constantly reading biological magazines and research papers and conferences and talking to other professors. By doing all this, slowly you'll become fixed in that knowledge. Same thing here. Every living entity is quitting his body under certain circumstances. He's living under certain circumstances, and he's enjoying under certain circumstances under the spell of material nature. As a result, he's suffering different kinds of happiness and distress under the illusion of sense enjoyment. Persons who are everlastingly fooled by lust and desire lose all power to understand. This is very important. Persons who are everlastingly fooled by lust and desire. So this lusty desires or lusty nature will tell us, yeah, you need this big computer. Yeah, you need this big car, expensive car like that. So they lose all their power because the lust and desire has subdued their intelligence. They lose all their power to understand the change of body. They cannot comprehend it. To a certain extent, we are also in the same boat, right? We cannot really comprehend what's happening because our knowledge is not fixed yet. Those who have developed spiritual knowledge, however, can see that spirit is different from the body and is changing its body and enjoying in different ways. So in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, some knowledge of soul is given, but here a lot more knowledge is given. And the soul's relationship with super soul, Paramatma, is also given. A person in such knowledge can understand how the conditioned living entity is suffering in this material existence. Therefore, those who are highly developed in Krishna consciousness try their best to give this knowledge to people in general, for their conditioned life is very much troublesome. Right? So, people who are advanced in Krishna consciousness will try to, yes, people take it, somehow or the other take it, because their conditional life is very troublesome. So they are actually compassionate. These preachers are very compassionate. They are teaching the general population, somehow or the other take it up. They should come out of it and be Krishna conscious and liberate themselves to transfer to the spiritual world. So we should come out of this conditional life. That's what it is. What is conditional life? We are conditioned in a certain way to think, to act, which may not be in our good interest. Like Keshavananda Prabhu was saying in the lecture yesterday, we are very expert at doing things which are bad for us. So they are bad for us, but we have become conditioned to doing those bad things to ourselves. So we should come out of it and be Krishna conscious and liberate themselves, ourselves, to the spiritual world. Yatanto yoginaschainam
Yatanto yoginaschainam
pashyanti atmanyavasthitam
Pashyanti atmani
yatanto api akritatmanam
yatanto api atmano
nainam pashyanti achetasaham.
nainam pashyanti.
Yeah, just like Sarvana is reading very quickly. So actually, nainam pashyanti achetasaham, that's just one word. Artificially, we divided for English language into 3 blocks. And the whole thing is nainam pashyanti achetasaham. The whole thing is one thing. Sanskrit is, very compact language. That's why they are doing research in the University of Washington to use that for compilers. So the endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not yet developed, and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what's taking place, although they may try. So transcendentalists who are in self-realization can see this. All right, what's happening? The soul is coming, it's just coming out, it's developing, taking over a new body, Just like in biological videos, right? You see that some cell membrane is forming on the top, some plasma is there, some blood is getting generated, like that. Similarly, the transcendentalist, they can just say, oh yeah, soul has come, now it has acquired a body, now it has acquired false ego, now it has acquired mind, intelligence. Oh, by the way, now senses are formed. Now this soul is totally trapped. It is stuck now with these senses and the mind, like that. So they can see this video happening in front of their eyes, how the soul is getting trapped. We are unable to do it because we are still conditioned, remember? So this whole thing is about deconditioning. Just like somebody is conditioned to taking marijuana. So what do? They send him to de-addiction camp, right? In the de-addiction camp, they will ask him to do yoga, exercises. No, they ask them to control every day. They'll give they'll give less and less quantity every day of the marijuana. Till one point they'll say, okay, now you're free. You don't need it anymore. And the person will say, yeah, I don't feel like I need it anymore. That's called the process of de-addiction. Same thing here. We are conditioned, so we have to be deconditioned. So the transcendentalists, Trigunatita, sages, they can see all this right in front of their eyes, but we are unable to see. So we have to take the scriptures' help as well as the help of the chanting to improve our life. So there are many transcendentalists on the path of spiritual self-realization, but one who is not situated in self-realization cannot see how things are changing in the body. The yoginaha is significant. There are so many yogis in modern day and so many associations, but they are blind because they are not really focused on the self-realization. They are simply addicted to gymnastic exercise and a strong body. If you ask anybody in America, why do you need yoga? Yeah, it tones up your body. It flexes your muscles, man, like that they'll say. But purpose of yoga is what? To connect to the Supreme Lord. They have no other information. They are called yatanto api akritatmanaha. Endeavoring in so-called yoga system, still not self-realized. They cannot understand the process of transmigration of the soul. Means how the soul is going from one body to other. Only those who are actually in yoga system have realized the self, the world and the Supreme Lord, the bhakti yogis. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service to Krishna consciousness can understand how things are taking place. Because they know that Krishna is running the show, right? And his agents are pulling the strings in the puppet show. Other people think that no, it is all happening by chance, by some energy from the outer space, like that, right? I was recently reading a paper. They said, yeah, we are all being controlled from the outer space. So if you cannot explain, you just push it on outer space. But actually, the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the outer space, is controlling us. But we fail to acknowledge that because of our conditioning. So only an unconditioned person can remove the conditioned man, right? So that's where the concept of guru comes. The guru is unconditioned. He went through the process of deconditioning himself. And now, through the strength of his sadhana and his conviction and his knowledge of the scriptures, he is deconditioning others. So a preacher is basically helping you. Somebody helped him and he is helping you now. Right now, just like somebody helped me over the last 17 years and I'm trying to help you. Although I'm not perfect, I'm still trying to help you. So that's what it is. So any questions? I know any moment the other Prabhuji will come on the call and he will start his discourse, Keshwananda Prabhu. He's using the same bridge. So any questions?
Prabhuji, no questions, but would like to know what inspired Sri Lakshmi more, Prabhu, and her strict vows was also very inspiring. So would like to know if you want to talk something about it, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I didn't inspire her. She herself said, I like to take initiation and I like to take initiation from Harilas Maharaj because he's the most in this temple. And of course, she has been hearing, right, since she was like 3.5 years old when we moved here from Atlanta. So we learned. And sometimes when I make a mistake, she says, no, this is not this way. This is how it is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So hearing is very important, right? If you continuously hear, just like your daughter is also very good at hearing, when they hear a lot, then they apply it. Once you hear, you cannot escape. Even now, the three of you on the call, and maybe your daughter is also there, four. Once you hear, you will not escape, right? Today we covered why this is so important. Just doing gymnastic yoga is useless. You have to understand what is happening. There is a video happening in front of our eyes, right? Souls are coming, they are being covered by flesh, they are being covered by senses, they are being covered by mind, intelligence, right? False ego. And then the soul is spending 80 years in this planet and then again leaving. So slowly, you have to think about what's happening. Oh my God, this thing is repeating again and again and again. Hare Krishna. I have to do something about it, like that. So as kids hear more and more, they will come to that platform. But what happens is, unfortunately, even devotees, sometimes they'll say, oh yeah, I have to prepare my son for good score in SSAT, or have to teach them. Like I know one devotee, he was more interested in teaching his son soccer than in devotion. Now that the son is a good soccer player, but he's not a good devotee. He has no interest in Krishna consciousness anymore. So you have to be careful. Like there is a saying, where focus goes, energy flows. You only have limited focus, right? We are not like Hanuman. We have limited brain capacity. So wherever you are putting that in the 24-hour window, wherever your focus goes, that's where your energy will flow naturally. So you have to initially force yourself in this. And after that, naturally it will happen. Even if you don't want, your mind will go in this direction only. Initially, you have to artificially force it. And you can do it. We are all doing it, right? Already you are coming. I mean, I used to have 13 students. Now I have 3 students on the class. But still, you 3 are left. 10 are gone. But 3 are left. That's how it is in any process, right? Like 10,000 students may go to join kindergarten. 3 or 4 people will finish PhD. The filtration is always there. But it is possible. I mean, it's not like there are no PhDs in the world, right? Similarly, it is possible they will be devotees. A few, but they will be devotees. Any other question? Naga Prabhu, maybe from you?
No, Prabhu. I don't have.
You asked your questions earlier, so that's good. Okay, so let me